Hello, hi, welcome to Angloscope with Valerie Marzak. Let's speak English. Come on, you can do it. Hello and welcome back to this series of videos entitled English Made Easy, available in French and in English. This is the English version. Today we're going to speak about the preterite tense in English, how to use it and when to use it. But before we do so, our small challenge from last week was, what's the meaning of I haven't got a clue? Well, if I haven't got a clue about something, it means I don't know anything about it. So for example, if someone said to me, do you know what happened here yesterday? There was a big noise. And if I reply, I'm sorry, I haven't got a clue, it means I really don't know what happened. A good expression to remember, so write it down and try to use it. Now, time for the preterite tense. It's a tense which is used in the past in English. There are two main tenses when we speak in the past. One is the preterite tense and the other one is the present perfect, which we will talk about in the next video. Today, let's see when and how to use the preterite tense. First, let's take our timeline. Present, future, past. The preterite is used when we speak in the past. It is used for an action which is completely finished, which is over, which has nothing to do with the present time. So we can say that we use the preterite tense for an action which is a point in time. This point here, completely finished, nothing to do with the present tense. So remember, it's an action which is finished or over. It's a point in time. It doesn't have any link whatsoever with the present tense. Now, how do we form the preterite tense? There are two cases here. Some verbs in English are regular verbs, such as the verb to work, and some verbs are irregular verbs. For regular verbs, we'll add E and D at the end of the verb. So if my verb is to work and I want to speak in the preterite tense, I will say, I worked all night long. Or I could say, I decided to go to Italy. I just add ED at the end of my regular verb. But unfortunately, there are also many irregular verbs in English. How do we know how to use them in the preterite tense? Well, it's simple. We have to learn them by heart. You will find a list of irregular verbs on the internet. Try to learn the short list. There are three lists. One is the short list with the verbs that are usually used every day. One is a longer list, and then there is a very long list of about 18 pages of irregular verbs. So try to find a short list of irregular verbs and learn 5 irregular verbs per day. This is enough, more than enough. So let's have a couple of examples with irregular verbs in the preterite tense. They went to work yesterday. Went is the preterite tense of the verb to go. They went to work yesterday. There is no way you can know it unless you have seen it and learnt it by heart. So you have to learn to go is went in the preterite tense. Another example. You told me last week. Told is the preterite tense of the verb to tell. So this is how we form the preterite tense when we use an assertive sentence. Now, Let's say that we want to speak in the negative form. How do we use our preterite tense? Well, it's quite simple, really. If I want to say, you didn't work yesterday, I cannot put my verb in the preterite tense in the negative form. My verb must have an auxiliary. This auxiliary is going to be used for the negative form and also for questions. My auxiliary will be do in the right tense and form. Do in the preterite is did, and in the negative form it will be didn't or did not. Did not, if I don't contract it. So I will use my auxiliary in the preterite and negative form, followed by my verb in the infinitive form without to. You didn't work yesterday. Other example, they didn't go yesterday. Now, if you have a question, again, we're going to use our auxiliary do in the right tense, in the preterite did, and say, for example, did you work yesterday? As you can see, do is in the preterite tense. My verb remains in the infinitive form without to. Another example. Did they go yesterday? Same thing. Do is in the preterite tense. My verb is in the infinitive form without to. Hope you got this. If not, try to listen to this again because it's exercise time, of course. I'll be back in a minute. Are you ready for the exercise? If not, don't forget to view again what I've just said to you. If you're ready, let's go for it. Exercise time, sentence number 1. Yesterday he to work a lot. So what we have to decide is whether the verb to work is a regular verb or an irregular verb. To work is a regular verb, therefore in the preterite tense we're going to add ed at the end of the verb and remove the to and say, yesterday he worked a lot. Number 2, I to see him last Monday. Hold on a sec, we can't see here. I to see him last Monday. So is to see a regular or an irregular verb? Well, it's an irregular verb. The preterite tense of the verb to see is saw. Therefore, we'll say, I saw him last Monday. Sentence number 3. They to decide to go to Italy. To decide is a regular verb, therefore what do? Yes, we add ed at the end of the verb and remove the to. They decided to go to Italy. Number 4, careful here, we have a negative sentence, so we need an auxiliary. You not to come yesterday. We need an auxiliary, we are in the negative form, so we have to use the auxiliary do in the right tense, which is did, and in the right form, the negative form, which is didn't or did not. And so we'll say, you didn't come. You write it down here, you can't see. You didn't come yesterday. Number 5, it to snow last week. To snow is a regular verb, therefore we move to add ed at the end of the verb and we'll write it snowed last week. Last one. Careful, it's a question. It's a question, just like for the negative form, we must introduce the auxiliary do in the right form, in the right tense. So here, in our question, we have to introduce our auxiliary in the right tense, did. There is no negative form, so we'll say, did she go with you? Did she go with you? Now let's repeat these sentences. Yesterday, he worked a lot. I saw him last Monday. They decided to go to Italy. You didn't come yesterday. It snowed last week. Did she go with you? Okay, so try to remember when to use the preterite tense and how to use it. Regular verb like to work, we add ed at the end and we remove the to. Irregular verb, sorry, you have to learn them, there is no other way, like to see, which becomes saw in the preterite tense. If we are in the negative form, what do? Well, we have to introduce an auxiliary, the auxiliary do in the preterite tense, did, and if it's a negative form, we add didn't or did not. And if it's a question, again, we introduce the auxiliary in the preterite tense and in the right form. Here it's not a negative sentence. Did she go with you? It's not a very difficult tense to use, but you must learn the irregular verbs and remember that this tense is used for an action which is a point in time in the past. It is completely over. If I said to you, you didn't come yesterday, it means it's no longer yesterday. It's something completely finished. Same with, I saw him last Monday. If it was last Monday, it's not now. It's a point in the past, a point in time. Before I leave you, another small challenge. What's the meaning of it's a piece of cake? Don't hesitate. Figure it out. Try to find out on the internet what it means and write it down in a comment. And as usual, don't forget to smash the like button and do subscribe if this video has been of use to you. Next time, we'll talk about the present perfect and then we will see when to use the preterite tense or the present perfect. In English, this is very important and it's not as difficult as you may think. Until then, work well and bye for now. Take care.